Welcome to another ACRP TV Spotlight. Today, something very special, ACRP's Ride for Diversity. It's a very exciting project coming up in June. We've talked about it. We've done some blogs about it. We're fired up about it here. And we've got one of the riders with us, Rick Fisher. Rick, I'm going to have to inhale and take a deep breath when I read your title here, because you must have a very long business card. Senior Director, Global Head of Site Activation Managers, R&D Solutions Operative, IQVIA. So
that's close. No, that's right.
It takes up a whole card, and I'm sure you've earned it. So this is a cool thing. We've talked with Sergio in the past about this. He's a great friend to ACRP too. But talk about what you guys are up to here. How did this come about? What's the goal?
Yeah, it's funny, really. So Sergio and I have known each other for a while, and we learned right away that we have some common interests, cycling being one. And this is actually a ride. It's a close to 350-mile ride from Pittsburgh to DC, and he's been wanting to do this ride for a while. And we started talking about just in general what's going on within the industry, what's going on within our how we interact with his company, my company, and such. So we started thinking about how could we really make this a benefit to the industry, and so we can talk a little bit more about that. But I mean, two things that I'm really passionate about is, one, cycling. I've been on a bike since I was a kid. I've got it's funny, one of my favorite photos of me when I was about 6 years old on a bike, racing a bike, and a long time ago. But I've been riding bikes, racing bikes for many years, and I ride almost every day. So cycling, and the other is really promoting safe, effective, and ethical clinical research to bring treatments to market, right, and to the patients. So, but without a diverse patient population, we're not really, in my mind, fulfilling our ethical or moral commitment. And without a diverse workforce, which, getting back to the ride, it makes obtaining that population that much more difficult. So this is the message that I really want to drive with this bike ride, as well as Sergio. So we're looking to raise money alongside the ACRP to really create some great messages and get out into the community in general with the ACRP, and really support diversity within the workplace, so we can work toward that more fulfilled destination of getting those patients in.
Well, it's fantastic. And the reaction to this has already been great. And you've only been talking about this for a few weeks. We had a blog with Sergio very late March, I would say. And this has just been coming together for a few weeks, but you've raised a lot of money and awareness already, which is fantastic. And I know the goal of this is to raise awareness for people about the importance of diversity, and some funding behind it, because we need to put money behind words. And I got to ask you, is that bike there, is that ornamental, or is that the very one that's going on the ride?
No, I ride that bike. I've got a bit of a problem with bikes. That's not the one I'm going to be riding. We would have to raise a lot more money to get on that bike. That's a single speed steel frame bike. Okay. But I do ride that bike quite a bit. That's my kind of town bike, but I've got bikes all over my house, actually.
Fantastic. All right. So before I let you go, so you're going to begin the ride in June, 300 plus miles, and you're actually going to end up right outside ACRP's headquarters, which is in Alexandria, Virginia, just across the river from DC. And if I can get my lungs together, I'll bike a couple hundred yards to meet you at the end and congratulate you. But tell us a little bit about the actual ride. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's a great ride. It kind of connects two large trail systems together. There's a little bit of pavement, but the majority of it will be packed gravel surfaces, dirt surfaces in some areas. We'll cross over the Continental Divide, the Mason-Dixon line. The first few days are going to be a steady climb till we get to the Continental Divide, and then kind of a steady ride out down to DC. But yeah, I think, and it's funny you should mention that, kind of joining us for a little bit at the end. There's been a couple of other folks within the industry that has reached out, and I think that would be great. We need to set that up and figure out the kind of logistics of that. But it'd be great to have a bunch of people coming across the finish line there at ACRP. So we're really looking forward to that as well.
And we're counting on you guys to document this on social media while you're doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's something that, like someone just reached out to me at IQVIA the other day, saying, hey, we need to get, a blog together, even on our own website. And we'll definitely be doing that. The other thing that we really want to try to do along the way is have some conversations with people. I mean, the general public, for example, just in general, when it comes to clinical research, with everything we've had going on this past year, we have going on right now in the news, there's a lot of weariness out there around clinical research across diverse populations, specifically, but just in general. So we want to have some conversations with folks. We'd love to meet up with some people that are in the industry that we know along the way. So we'll be we'll be reaching out on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, all the social media outlets to really try to stay in contact and let people know what we're doing, how we're doing, and continuing to bring that message along the way as we travel.
Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to the ride in June and raising more awareness and funds for this very important issue. I want to thank you so much for joining us, Rick Fisher with IQVIA. This has been our ACRP TV Spotlight on ACRP's Ride for Diversity. Thanks for joining us, Rick. Thank you and Sergio for everything you guys are doing.
Yeah, thank you very much for the support, and thanks to everyone for supporting, and keep those donations coming in. We'll put them to good work, I promise.